Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your weekly forecast for February 27th through, no, January 27th through February 2nd. We're going to see what's happening the weekend with this deck here. You guys are getting a sneak peek at the Valentine's now, so I'm going to start those videos soon, so sneak peek. And then we're going to pull a oracle message for you guys from that deck there. All right, Virgo, so without further ado, what's happening for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, my darlings, we have the Star. Ooh la la. Okay, so this is gonna be it can for some of you have to do with an Aquarius. Again, I always say it can be somebody's moon or rising or Venus. So for that reason, I don't like to get too hung up on the astrology of the cards because we don't always know that information about someone and it can throw us off. So it can be for many of you the fact that you just have the star energy coming into your life. Now, this is a major arcana card, so I always say this in the weekly readings. When we have a major arcana card come up for some portion of the week, the energy is beginning that time of the week. But the major arcana cards signify that there's a crossroads, there's a shift, there's a change, that we're coming into a period that is kind of divinely guided. It has to do with our life purpose, our life path. It has to do with what we came here to accomplish and learn and experience. And the star card, I mean, if you guys are going to be coming into some kind of period of time or stage, star card is a really great one to be coming into because star card has to do with, you know, the worst of times being behind you. You can expect for things to get better now. You can make long-term plans. It's about success, inspiration, being seen, being appreciated, succeeding, comfortable retirement, avenues of abundance coming in, streams of abundance coming in. It's a very, very positive card. And for whatever reason, Virgo, I feel that for many of you, there's something happening in which way I'm hearing the word you are exalted. You are exalted. Maybe even vindicated for some of you. So maybe something is happening where you're receiving some kind of, something is being cleared. Maybe you were being accused of something and it's being cleared up that no, that's not the case. That you didn't do what you're being told that you did, or what people are saying that you did, or you're finally receiving appreciation for your work, or people are talking about you in a really positive way. I just feel something is happening where you're feeling exalted, you're feeling raised up, you're feeling praised. Some of you are even a little bit overwhelmed by it, right? Now, keep in mind, something could be happening in the beginning of the week and it's building up to that. But there's something coming in where there's this positive light being shown down on you, like shining on you, this positive light being seen in a positive light, maybe even being celebrated in some way. Okay. So let's see your Wednesday, Thursday. For Wednesday, Thursday, we have Seven of Pentacles, right? So whatever the star card energy is, it's safe to say that for many of you, it can definitely have to do with finances, with work. We did say that it was a period you were stepping into, the energy was beginning. So as we come into the midweek energy, you might have a lot of really busy energy coming in. You might have a lot of really busy stuff happening, and you might be having a lot of crazy energy coming in about things that need to be done. And so spirit is letting you know that you might feel a little bit tired. You might feel like you're working really hard. You might feel like you're really putting a lot of energy into something, but Seven of Pentacles says hard work will pay off. The seeds that you plant will grow, and there's probably going to be a lot of work coming in if you have something that's going to be leading you to that high star status, that star card level, that star card status. So the important thing for you to keep in mind when Seven of Pentacles comes up is not to run yourself ragged. You know, try to think of ways that you can work smarter, not harder. Try to think of ways that you can bring in positive change in positive ways, and, you know, do things where you're not burning the candle at both ends. I do feel that for some of you, there are projects that you had started a while back, or different avenues or things that you were kind of beginning to dabble in, that are all of a sudden beginning to pick up. So, you know, you may have people calling you for jobs you applied to a long time ago. Or if you are, you know, self-employed or have a business, you may have launched something a while back and it didn't seem to take off, and now all of a sudden it's getting busy and it's becoming in demand. So it's like the sprouts, little seedlings are beginning to sprout up, and you might feel all of a sudden like, oh wow, you know, there's a lot of things to take care of at once, like kind of coming up out of nowhere. So again, you know, if you're having a hard time thinking about how to simplify things, make things easier on yourself, to think smarter, to work smarter, not harder, that is something you can meditate on. You can ask your angels for help to help you see clearly, to have the clarity to figure out how to do that. But I just feel like there's a lot of busy work coming in that's going to really, really benefit you or make a name for you in the future. You're coming into that kind of energy. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Virgo, we have the Lovers card. So, this is going to be choices and decisions. This is going to be deciding where you want to put your focus and energy. And it can sometimes be a card where you're deciding like what's worth more to you, what's important to you, what are your deal breakers. And for some of you, this can be about life choices, but the Lovers card a lot of the time is going to have to do with romantic choices and romantic decisions. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, right? Or you could have Gemini in your chart. That might be a factor for some of you. But when the Lovers card is coming up, you're having to decide and you're having to choose what the relationship is that you want. What are you willing to work for? For some of you, you're making choices and decisions in your work life to make room for a love life. Maybe you feel like you've been running yourself ragged and you're having to simplify work life so that you can make room for love. You might be realizing that you haven't had enough balance, you know, work-life balance. Virgo, I do feel those of you where you are in a committed relationship, like you're living with somebody or you guys are married, there could be a decision that's being made where, you know, you might be saying that, you know what, you know, this business has been taking me way too much away from the relationship. Relationship is suffering. I need to bring in help, or I need to hire someone to take care of certain responsibilities. Or maybe you're working for someone, you have a job. You might be deciding that, you know, this job is way too stressful and it's not worth it. And so you might be talking to your partner and deciding, well, you know, like looking for another job or quitting that job and making some sacrifices in the meantime financially until something else comes in, you know, in order to put the relationship first. You know, like maybe we can simplify, maybe we can budget, maybe we can give up on a few things just so that this stress and this, you know, tension isn't in the home, and, you know, put the relationship, put the marriage first or whatever. Some of you may be making a decision like that. And Virgo, I feel some of you are in a bit of a pickle, because I feel that this decision or this sacrifice for some of you is going to involve having to relocate, like having to move, and you guys are trying to decide who's going to give up what. You know, like, are you going to give up a wonderful opportunity, or is your partner going to sacrifice and, you know, like quit their job and move with you? I feel, or vice versa. I feel for some of you, there's a big decision to make in that way. I think ultimately you probably will decide to make the sacrifice, or they'll decide to make the sacrifice, because with the Lovers card, it is a major arcana card. So this is like a significant bond. This is a significant soulmate. But I really feel there's something happening here where somebody's making a career sacrifice for a relationship. And if that's the case, if someone's making that sacrifice for you, Virgo, you know, really, really be sure to be appreciative of that. Because if you're not, it's going to come back. They're going to remind you of it fairly frequently. I promise you that. Let's go ahead and see what your angel, well, not angel card, but oracle messages, spirit messages for the week. And I encourage you guys to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks they may resonate with you more. They may add a little extra information. And if you would like a private reading, you can click on the Calendly link in the description of the video and schedule there. So here we have grace. So this is really just to be in the flow, to be comfortable of yourself, to know that you're deserving of what's coming in, that you are a child of God, you are a child of the universe, you are being cared for, and that you are receiving this universal grace. I feel, remember how I said I felt like a lot of you were coming into this exalted energy, this being praised, this having this light, you know, shine down on you. Some of you are struggling with feelings of undeservingness. Like, oh, I don't know if I deserve this, but, you know, grace is you're receiving this universal grace, you're receiving this blessing, these divine gifts, because you do deserve them as a child of God, as a child of the universe. I also feel there's an energy here, Virgo, with you beginning to feel more comfortable in your own skin, being more accepting of yourself, and feeling like you don't have to be proving yourself as much. Maybe, and I think this is going to be especially true for those of you where you've worked really hard in your career, or you've worked really hard to get a business going. Like, maybe some of you are still seeing yourself as just starting out, like really small time, or it's just this little project, or I'm just kind of new. But all of a sudden you're realizing how much you've grown, how far you've come. You need to give yourself credit. For some of you, you might be realizing that in terms of job searches or things like that, you've been aiming way too low or thinking way too small. You haven't realized how much you've grown since you've began, or since you've started in your career or in your area of expertise. But there's just this thing of all of a sudden, like, seeing your deservingness for more. I feel for some of you there might even be an element of boldness that's coming in, where you might even be feeling a little bit more bold, a little bit more, deserving, entitled, but like in a healthy way, in a positive way. Again, I'd encourage you to watch your moon, sun, and rising sign videos. I did not touch too much on love and romance. It came up a little bit for you guys, but if you want deeper, like, love messages or more in detail love messages, you can definitely click on the love videos for January and watch those if you haven't already. They're linked in the description of the video, or the angel messages if you want to watch those. The February videos will be up soon, my darlings. I've been receiving a lot of messages lately about the weekly videos, so I'm very happy that they're helping those of you that you feel helped by them. And if you feel like you just need something a little bit extra, like you like the weekly videos but you want something daily, please be sure to follow Amethyst Angellight on Instagram and Facebook. Every single day I post a card of the day with a message, and then I do a little pick a card game. So every single day there's actually 2 cards on the social media. And then lately, when I've had like an idea of a meditation or some spiritual concept come to me, because I don't always have time to make videos about these things, I've been posting about them on the social media. Like the other day I posted something about inner child work, you know. So if I remember something that I think might be helpful or that people might be able to use, I've been posting that on social media as well. So make use of that resource if you think it's something that you might like to take advantage of. I thank you guys so very much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I am wishing you a fabulous week, my dears.